Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
Well, she just summed it up. Did Trump tweet that out? He should. Trump tweet that out.
All right. In America, if you hate our country, you are free to leave. The simple fact of the matter is that I have a Charlie horse. Ow, 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 on the air. Ow, ow, from probably hiking.
Did you tell them about your hiking?
No. Ow. The four horsewomen they call them the four horsewomen of the apocalypse. It was, which one was it? We have a really funny representative.
They're not that powerful.
Anyways, he said they're the reason that they put directions on shampoo bottles.
Who said that?
One of our congressmen in Trump
that's so
quoted
funny.
him.
Oh my
gosh.
The
four congressmen think that America is wicked in its origins. They think that America is not even more wicked now. That we are all that America is even more wicked now, and that we are all racist and evil. They're entitled to their opinion. They're Americans. Now I'm entitled to mine, and I just think they're left-wing cranks. They're the reason there are directions on a shampoo bottle, and we should ignore them. The squad has moved. Senator John Kennedy, he's quoting. The squad has moved the Democrat Party substantially left, and they are destroying the Democrat Party. I'm appalled that so many of our presidential candidates are falling all over themselves to agree with the four horsewomen of the apocalypse. I'm entitled to say that they're whack jobs. Louisiana Senator
John Kennedy. That is so fantastic.
This is so funny. So, all right. So we're going to move on a little bit more to a little deeper into Ilhan Omar here, because it's really, it's probably one of the most blatantly corrupt corruptions that we've seen in a politician in years.
Since Watergate.
Yeah, well, no, but there's been a lot. But she actually could possibly be deported or put in jail. I mean, this isn't Russian collusion. Just watch.
Democrats, media, and the Department of Justice have continually ignored strong
This is evidence against
supporting the fact that Ilhan Omar may be directly involved in tax, marriage, and immigration fraud.
In 2002, Omar married Ahmed Hirsi in a religious ceremony. Hirsi is the father of Omar's 3 children and is pictured often with Omar and their children on their campaign website.
In 2016, Minnesota journalist Scott Johnson received a tip about a post from a Somali community website containing marriage certificates alleging Omar married her brother Elmi in February 2009 in order for him to immigrate to the U.S. legally, despite the facts she'd been married to the father of her children, Hirsi, over a decade.
This clearly proved
supposedly she married that guy in a religious ceremony, then divorced her in a religious ceremony, then married this other guy, which is her brother, in a regular ceremony with her certificate. Then she didn't even divorce him in 2017. And there's more.
That any such second marriage might be bigamous under Minnesota law, as well as fraudulent.
Later in August 2016, further investigations into legal documents and filings in Minnesota by journalist Priya Samsundar uncovered evidence supporting the allegation that Ilhan Omar married her brother, Ahmed Nursed Elmi, in 2009.
The 2009 marriage license to Elmi lists the same address as one filed for a Minnesota business 3 months later in May 2009 for One-to-One Cafe by Hirsi.
So, what I want to explain there, because the names get really mixed up. The marriage certificate had the address that her brother put, let's just call him her brother. The brother, his address on the marriage certificate was his
brother-in-law's.
No, was technically his brother-in-law's.
Cafe's address.
Exactly. They were living together, all 3 of them.
The father of Omar's 3 children.
That means Ilhan Omar was living with both her real husband Hirsi while still married to her brother Elmi.
High school record evidence also support the claim that Elmi is indeed her brother and graduated in 2003 from Arlington Senior High School in St. Paul, Minnesota.
So why is she pictured in high school with the guy that she supposedly later married? That's her brother.
Yeah.
With enrollment records that state he was born April 4th, 1985. The same birth date listed on Omar's 2009 marriage certificate to Elmi.
So, yeah, it's really crazy. And
No, I mean, so I think that because Kelly says she's a polygamous woman marrying men and incest, it's gross. I have a sneaking suspicion that she did not sleep with her brother. She only married him just to make him legal in the country. Okay, so there's not like, so yeah, it's still weird. It's fraud. Okay, but I don't think it's some sort of incestual.
Yeah, but it is.
It's weird and it's fraudulent. The fact that you would take advantage of marriage like that.
Right.
No wonder they don't hold marriage and
when they don't love our country.
Sanctity.
Yeah, they trick to get in here.
Well, there's a lot of talk about the fact that she was married to her brother. I know nothing about it. I hear she was married to her brother. You're asking me a question about it. I don't know, but I'm sure that somebody would be looking at that. Mr. President.
So let me just say, just from a personal standpoint, you know, finding somebody to marry just for the sake of marriage, if you're willing to do that, is not difficult in this world. He went to an American high school and graduated from an American high school. And the fact that he couldn't find some American woman to marry to make himself legal here is very odd indeed. I mean, what, we're on a time crunch? I mean, you couldn't find anybody. You can't win them over with your personality. Not a single person. Not some, you know, wallflower person.
So remember,
Trump
is being called a racist for saying they should go back home. Now listen.
2016 is election cycle, and you guys have the ability to make an impact on where our nation is headed. Not only here in the United States, but even in our nation back home.
In our nation back home.
She is a Somalian.
Yeah.
And that is her country. That's where her loyalties lie.
Yeah.
But she wants to make, you know, changes here in America.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right. Crazies.
You know, I still have to, I have to put in this. This is actually really exciting to me. It's so much fun. For years, I'm 35 years old, and my mom has followed politics for as long as I can remember. And for years, it's been this back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. And, you know, just trying to figure out who is honest in the midst of all of those corrupt people. What these socialists have done is an amazing thing. They have drawn a very clear line in the sand that says, this is our agenda. This is where we want to take the country. This is where we want to take the Democrat Party. And then you've got the Democrats that don't agree with them left going, what happened to our party? Where, I mean, at least people like Mitch McConnell or, you know, who's the other one that we like a lot with the accent, Leah? The, you know, you want this seat and I hope you never get it. Oh, what's his name? Grassley. No, not Grassley. He's the older one.
That was...
Shoot, what's his name? Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about.
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham. You've got these politicians that were just kind of moseying along for the past decade or two, just kind of being a politician. Mm-hmm. And now, because of Trump and because of libertarians and the righteous Christian base that has risen up, it's kind of woken these sleeping politicians. Ooh, I'm a politician.
And kind of
That's right.
Dust him off the shelf.
I am a politician, and I'm going to defend our country. And I've been bought off like, you know, the NASCAR, and now I'm not, and now I'm a righteous man, and give me a sword. Okay, that's what's separating these, you know, the Republicans in the government versus the Democrats that are feeling like, well, where did everybody go? Mm-hmm. I can't go over there with those people, and I can't join the I think I might hang out with the Republicans because those people are crazy. And then you've got the, you know, Democrats going, well, I could be a socialist. Mm-hmm. I could be a socialist. I'm inclusive. Let's take everybody's money. And I want to be with the cool kids. And it's exactly completely divided the Democrat Party. And it's causing regular old-fashioned Democrats to hop the aisle. Mm-hmm. Okay, to have to join
the Trump they hate.
I mean, it's like, seriously, and I'm not just talking about the politicians. I'm talking about voters in general. None of these Democrat voters go and look at these women and go, now that is the future of the Democrat Party. That is the future of America. These centrists, I can't, we've talked about this before. I don't understand the plan for 2020. because Biden was all they had, and that's skimming the bottom of the barrel.
I know.
So now that Biden is out, and he is pretty much out, now that Biden is out, it's like, you got nobody. Are you really trying to win? So their plan...
Are you really going to have President Pocahontas? Because Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren are the ones that are polling like higher.
If they assassinate Trump politically or physically, another Republican will rise up and get the seat. There is no way that the socialists are going to win. No way, because Trump's base is far too fired up, and it would be impossible.
So you guys need to go to Powerline blog, David Steinberg, all right, B-E-R-G. He has been doing article after article about Ilhan Omar. He has a fifth one. He titles it "Meet Leila Elmi, the missing link," showing Ilhan Omar married her brother. And he really goes in deep and explains everything. So you can follow this thread, and you can follow the articles. But it's pretty. He puts together a lot, and he puts together here pre-asylum. You have the Elmis. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't.
Really small.
You had the father, Elmi Mohammed, and then you have the children Ilhan. Okay, then you have these Omars, right? The family of Somali heritage living in near Virginia. So somehow the Elmis go. The Omars go to the United States. But the Elmis join these Omars, and then half of the Elmis go to the United States, and half the Elmis go to the United Kingdom. Then they both come into North Dakota to go to college, and then finally they're in Minnesota, where the above chart summarizes how multiple sources in the Minneapolis Somali community describe key events in the life of Ilhan Nur said Elmi. Her name is actually... sources say Ilhan Nur said Ilmi. So confirming some of the above information as it might appear on their 1995 U.S. immigration papers is not difficult. A basic background search shows that Nur Omar Mohammed, Ilhan Abdullah Omar, and Sahor Noor all received Social Security numbers in 95 or 96 in Virginia. Verified address vectors show adult members of the Omars living at 3 addresses in Arlington. These different homes. The United Kingdom records of relevant individuals are similar, easy to find. It says there appears to be only one Leila Nur said Elmi, and only one Mohammed Nur said Elmi, and only one Ahmed. So Sarah Noor is the only person Ilhan Omar has ever publicly identified as her sister. Ilhan and Sarah have also publicly and often referred to the same man as their father. They both identify this man as Nur said. This guy right here. And the above image is a screenshot of Sarah Noor's confirmed Facebook account. And it says this screenshot is of his current Facebook account. As of this article's publication, it is active. Let's see. 2018, I published a series of articles investigating Ilhan's past. This account name changed from Leila Elmi to Leila Selami. However, the URL did not change. It still refers to her as Elmi. Below, see 1997 marriage certificate for the only Leila Nur said Elmi listed in the United Kingdom. He says, I retrieved this certified copy from a government records in London. So it says that Leila attests that her father's name is Nur said Elmi. So far, they have verifiable evidence that Ilhan Abdullah Omar, Sahara Noor, and Leila Nur, and said Elmi, referring to their respective fathers as Nur said or Nur said Elmi. So they all refer to their father as like the same name. So you can go through and you could read this. There's a lot of pictures. There's a lot of social media posts. And it says, I love my sisters with Leila Elmi and Ilhan in black. And but she's living in the United Kingdom. And then you have this picture. Further, the above post with the hashtag London trip hashtag depicts Ilhan Omar's infamous 2015 trip to the UK. This is the same trip on which Ilhan was photographed with Nur said Elmi himself. This is the guy who she supposedly married, but was really her brother, but really divorced him and couldn't find him. But here is the picture of him right here. in 2015. Okay?
Wow. And there it is again.
Yeah, and then below, see one more piece of evidence establishing Leela Elmi as Ilan's sister. This post is currently live, and I've archived it. So, if Elmi says that he's sisters with Leela, and Leela is sisters with Ilan, then they're brother and sister. Do you see?
I don't understand why there's a question here, though. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
I guess.
With all the name changing, I guess, is the... But the fact of the matter is that the names, if you follow the records, the names and the pictures do line up. It doesn't matter if you change your name. If I change my name to, you know, Sarah Smith, I'm still Michelle Svensson. I mean, that's just a fact. It doesn't matter. You just have to follow the...
So she made a police report after being harassed by a cab driver and said, claimed the cab driver called her ISIS and threatened to remove her hijab. Days later, she filed a police report and said that she was with her sister, but that name has been redacted. But if it was her sister living in the UK and her other sister in the United States, it's so crazy. All these things that go together. You just have to read it. It is actually, I think, linked under Tucker Carlson.
Cool.
So, anyways, there's verifiable evidence that Ilan Omar, Sahara Noor, Leela Elmi are siblings with a father named Nursid Elmi. All right, so we're going to move on from there, but it's absolutely crazy. Let's see.
Well, and the guy that's you know, has the same birthday. Yeah. So, I mean, how do you get away from that?
Mm-hmm. So these women she was also asked, will you disavow Antifa? No. I could go on about Ilan Omar, but actually Tucker does a good job.
Thank you to the viewers. We're so glad that you're here, that you find us, because you obviously have to diligently seek us out and find us to be able to watch us on Fridays and Sundays. So thank you for that.
PO Box?
107 Milford, Ohio 45150. If you send us your stuff, we will read them on air. I haven't checked it in a while. I need to go and do that. So we love you. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory.
Ilan Omar married her brother.
And that's true.
Which she did.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Good night, guys. God bless. I was cold.